Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Relaxin podcast. We've got a little bit of a special episode today as we have 3 guests. As always, I'm Borkhammer 40K, joined by Arios and Jam, and also our 3 guests from Greater Gaming. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is David GG Dover. I'm one of the co-founders of Greater Gaming.
I'm GG Harris. I'm a graphic designer and an ex-co-founder.
What's up, guys? My tag is Sendo. I make YouTube content, and I like commentating tournaments and entering them, and I do marketing for GG.
Yes, dude, a fellow commentator. That's what I love. And
hell yeah.
One thing I want to plug real quick, guys, if you are watching, listening to this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get the notifications. Once we hit 500 subs, we are going to be doing a $20 eShop card giveaway. So get us to 500 subs. We'll be doing that giveaway. And, of course, we're going to be putting up podcasts every Monday. And let's get into it. First question I want to ask you guys.
Just subscribed.
Appreciate it.
Same.
First question I want to ask you guys. Give us a breakdown of what Greater Gaming is.
This is David. Take it away.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, so Greater Gaming originally started out as a way to kind of connect collegiate esports from Canada in particular. But we soon kind of pivoted, as most projects do, to different things that interested us a bit more. Just as a bit of a background, we do come from Ontario, Canada, in particular Toronto, where the scene for Smash is extremely saturated. Other regions and maybe the States and stuff, you guys have weeklies, maybe once or twice or 3 times a week. You guys have a weekly tournament there. In Toronto, you actually have dailies. There is a different weekly every single day of the week, even on Saturdays and Sundays in some cases. And they all get 20 plus entrants, right? So we actually, for some reason, decided it was a good idea to get into that scene. And slowly over time, Greater Gaming became a weekly called Up Tilt, and then we had our monthly called Up Smash, and then we started working bigger and bigger Smash events. We helped co-host Tor Yukin's Smash Ultimate Bracket, which had over 100 entrants. And from there, coronavirus hit, and then we suddenly started making online tournaments as well. And then we met you guys, and then we're here doing other stuff as well. Other cool stuff that we're probably going to be talking about later in this podcast. So yeah, we're just an event organizing slash I want to say event marketing team, because most of our strengths do come from our marketing and our design team in particular.
So you guys started out in collegiate esports. What is that like in Canada?
Oh man,
Very bad.
Yeah. So all 3 of our co-founders are actually collegiate esports leaders. I was an executive for my collegiate esports club at University of Toronto, Mississauga. One of my co-founders, Xander, who unfortunately couldn't make the pod today. He was the president of UFT Esports, which is University of Toronto Esports, a separate campus. And Harris over here,
I was
your role.
Yeah, I was the president for Sheridan Esports at Sheridan College, and I actually just recently left the position. So
that alone might give you some insight onto how collegiate esports is like.
It's funny you bring up collegiate stuff too, David, because I was recently I just became the game head for Ultimate at Carleton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. But yeah, so just in general, collegiate esports is very, very political. There's a lot of school politics that go into it, because esports in general, at least in Canada, isn't too progressive. So
it's very new. It took a very long time for Canadian colleges and universities to kind of adopt this whole esports wave that's coming through all North America. And we are making they are making progress in getting it there. It's just very slow and very political, like David said. And that's one of the reasons why I left, because I'm not spending 5 years of my time trying to build a program that might or might not work. It's very hard.
So just to Yeah, so just to answer your question, yeah, collegiate esports, it's hard to do stuff in there. Like make cool events, collaborate with other schools. Like there's just too much paperwork. People don't really understand it. Things move too slowly, which is why we decided to pivot out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
So, how old is GG? You guys mentioned kind of you were running a few events before the pandemic hit. So, is it kind of a recent venture for you guys?
Yeah, so GG is actually around 1 year old as of now. We actually ran our weekly actually first started taking off exactly 1 year ago, where our second weekly only had like 9 entrants, and we slowly grew that over time. Over the course of like 8 months, we managed to break the record for the most entered Smash weekly at 100 plus entrants over that time. So yeah, it's a very new venture. Yeah. I would say.
But it's growing
super
rapidly.
talented team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really. So, what's like the atmosphere of your locals like?
Oh, okay. So.
You want me to answer this?
I think
because I'm very new to Smash.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So I'm like extremely new to like competitive Smash and like the whole tournament scene. Like I've never gone to a local ever, and I think Up Tilt was the first one because like since I was part of the team, it was a nature of being there, and it was really cool for me. I enjoyed it. I think that was like the best event for me to go to. Other than that, I haven't really gone to any other locals except for the Smash tournaments I held on campus. But yeah, no, I think it's very chill. Everyone's like super, super nice. The bar that we're hosting at was a pretty cool bar as well. It was like an esports bar, so the venue was great. But yeah, no, it's just everyone's really chill here in Canada. Very nice, as Canadians are. But yeah, I don't know. It's a night and day from Twitter Smash community, and I'm very new to that as well. So it's very pretty cool seeing that. Yeah,
Dude, it's night and day, online and offline. It's actually
yeah.
No one got the balls to like come out and say say it in person, eh?
Smash
So
Twitter is
something else. Every single day,
yeah.
you see someone trying to cancel another. It's like, come on, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to kind of build on Terrace's point, in terms of just like our whole like environments and just like atmosphere, what we actually specifically tried to do was focus on the player experience, which is what kind of sets us apart from the other locals and tournaments. Basically, like all the other tournaments would basically just be like a grind fest, and for ours, like we always tried to do as many things as possible to kind of increase our player experience, whether it be like raffles. We host like 3 different raffles. One for like one is just like the food bar raffle, and then we also have like depending on what kind of events we have on, we might have like a special raffle for like a t-shirt, or maybe like just like some cool things that we're just giving away that week. So we just really wanted to like make Up Tilt like a brand where like people go there to have fun and chill, maybe compete in the bracket if they want to. A lot of people actually come for friendlies, so like I guess that's what kind of like the atmosphere is like for that.
I also want to add, like, from an outside perspective, so I want to, like, we're all from Ontario, but Ontario is a pretty big province. It's like, I'm not sure how it compares to like most US states, but there's about 3 or 4 hours between me and some of the other guys. And even from like across the province, just the different atmosphere that GG has compared, or like Up Tilt specifically, to the other weeklies in the area, it really feels like, looking outside in, it's like you're looking at a family. Like all these guys are just having fun playing Smash together, and there just happens to be a tournament happening at the same time.
Yeah, especially at Up Tilt Weekly, like it really did feel like a family. Everyone was like super close. Never experienced that before ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, comparing that to my local, like your sheer amount of people and just like how you guys are explaining it, dude, that sounds awesome, dude. I'd love to come down one day and see.
Oh yeah,
you guys do it.
Drive down. Let's get it.
That'd be like a 15-hour drive for me.
If you're coming down for Gommel, after coronavirus, bro, David, you hold an Up Tilt, before Gommel. Have one of come. That'd be sick.
We actually plan to do that.
Yeah.
Hog.
I would be 100% down for Gommel.
Let's get it.
All right. Plans already being made. I I actually wanted to ask you guys to kind of expand on the Toronto scene a little bit. Do you guys think you're a really strong region?
Ooh, that's a question I feel like Sendo might be able to answer.
Trick question. You're supposed to answer yes.
Yo, yeah, like obviously we're gonna be biased because like it's our own region, but like ever since Brawl, like Toronto, especially compared to the rest of like Canada, like V115 was one of the best Brawl players to ever do it. And Smash 4, like you had like Mistake, who's at one point top 5 in the world. So I think Toronto is like a pretty strong scene and definitely like the best in Canada, up there with some of like the US regions.
Yeah, all I'm saying is JW has a winning rate on MKLeo, and he's
one of only like 5 people.
He's number 3 on Ontario.
5 people to have a winning record on LAN.
And
Yo, we also got Riddles too.
Riddles doesn't have a winning record, unfortunately.
Riddles almost lost to MKLeo's Mewtwo in bracket.
But that's what got him up there, right? Like I think that when I heard of Riddles was when he was playing a set against MKLeo, and everyone was just like, "This guy's sick."
Yeah, that was in Super Smash Con. I think he was playing Ken against his Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Riddles is nuts. I like Riddles.
I like playing Terry, so it's a bias, from me.
Oh man. Depending on how you answered that question, I was going to ask if you guys thought Riddles was free, but obviously he's not.
Dude, to me, Riddles is like, I'm so personally conflicted because after watching Congo Saga and him almost losing to MKLeo's Mewtwo versus Terry, and like literally last stock, and then he swapped off and said, "All right, yeah, I'm not gonna sandbag. Here's the Joker," and then the rest is history. For that set.
All I'm saying is MKLeo brought out the Byleth, so it doesn't matter who he's playing.
True, that's true. But Byleth was also a hard counter for Game & Watch, and he did it for both the free win and because it's brand new. So
yeah.
True.
I think the Mewtwo against Riddles was just him saying, I can practice this character in bracket against you because I'm not worried about losing.
How good is Byleth, like excluding Wi-Fi, because obviously I'm not too in comparative Smash, but like how good is it Byleth actually?
Well,
high tier.
I think Byleth's mid.
Here's the thing about MKLeo pulling out Byleth. 1, he was playing against Meister. Meister is somebody he knows incredibly well. 2, Byleth is a hard counter, as Arios mentioned, to Game & Watch. And 3, it's MK freaking Leo. He's gonna make anything he touches turn to gold. I don't think Byleth. I think Byleth's like mid at best, mid low.
I think people underrate her, like specifically with Byleth, how powerful conditioning your opponent is, because she has so many early KO options, shield break options, just like combos that go into just like a 50% kill confirm towards the side of the ledge, like just crazy stuff.
I don't know about y'all, but all I know on Byleth is down tilt up air.
Down tilt up air and juggle DK.
There you go.
That's like the one I'm the worst at, is the down tilt up air, consistently getting it to it, like at the percentage where it's true, mainly due to rage and things like that. But like the up B combos and things like that, those are easy, and then
they're pretty cool to watch too.
They're so cool.
They happen so fast you don't even know what's happening. I don't know how you can react to DI depending on like percent for it.
It's like only animation when you get thrown down to the floor. It's like, I don't know, it's so weird to look at. I don't even know what's happening on screen.
Yeah, so like if you DI, depending on the percentage, you have to DI left or right, And if you DI, if your opponent reads your DI, behind them, side B is 100% true. If your opponent reads DI in front of them, they can down air, and there's a 2-frame window to escape. So you have to have a frame 2 air dodge.
Yeah, that's
Wolf, VSS, like those characters.
2 words in the comments. Take notes. No,
You have to have a frame 2 air dodge. Yeah, it's like that's why DK just gets screwed because he's a frame 3 air dodge.
Poor DK.
Get wrecked, idiot.
You'd be like that.
Wow. This man just called DK an idiot. DK just wants to slap you.
Yo, I'm a DK man. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I'm not saying the players are idiots. The players are kind of big brains sometimes.
DK is sauce.
Okay.
DK has lots
DK,
of sauce.
well, to be fair, DK like players, they either just hard mash and don't play neutral, or they're actually some of the sauciest players with amazing fundamentals that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, like
Chunky Kong, he's a masher though.
I was going to say.
Chunky Kong, he's a masher with no neutral though. Don't sleep.
Okay.
Nah, the best DK players have some serious sauce, though. I love watching DK. He's fun.
I was watching Nairo's.
Fair
DK.
enough.
Anyways.
Unfortunately, I'm the former, so.
What I don't like watching is violence just juggling DK to the blast zone, because that's not.
Oh, I do.
Fun and interactive gameplay right
fun
there.
and interactive gameplay. When you asked the Byleth question, you mentioned the difference between offline and online. What has that transition been like for you guys, being primarily offline tournament organizer? You guys have never done this before. How has this transition gone for you?
Oh man, let me tell you, I gotta personally thank Arios because we ran our first online tournament and we had no experience. We didn't know what we were doing. But then like we were always of the thought process that like, hey, the first one, our main focus is just to kind of like just make sure mistakes are at a low and we take as much information in as we can. I reached out to Arios. He was a super homie. I personally think that he basically just ran the event for us, even though like he might not think that or whatever. But yeah, the seating, it's like totally different because we just had people coming in. Like we were so unfamiliar with the Wi-Fi scene, we didn't know anyone at all. And then I don't know how I found the SNR Discord. I think Just the Ice was actually in our event, and then through him, I found out about SNR, and then I just reached out to one of the admins, and then Arrows appeared, helped us run it, and yeah, it's just a totally different landscape, but it's also a totally different experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember having to explain like the relation between offline seating and then online seating, where WWR versus PGR kind of thing, or PR kind of things, where it's like number 9 on the WWR is going to beat your number 1 PR player on Wi-Fi most likely. That's just how it is. If any top 10 WWR player, which is the Wi-Fi Warrior ranking, because it's really not that much of a difference because it's still Smash, but it's just the sheer of like play style kind of mechanics with online. They're fine-tuned to knowing exactly how these matches work, whereas not everyone else is. And so it's like, even though your PR player, your rank 1 PR player is obviously going to be really freaking good, he's not going to have the same, he's going to be at a disadvantage compared to this other player who's also really good. And so in the seeding, if that rank 9 player was the best Wi-Fi warrior that was entering, and then that your rank 1 PR was the best offline player, I'd probably put them at 1 and 2 interchangeably. I have no idea which one I would honestly put before the other. It would be dependent on person, but it's like there's definitely situations where I would put the Wi-Fi player above the offline. Not that I think they're actually better, but for seeding's sake.
Yeah, the one thing I definitely learned was that don't sleep on the Wi-Fi warriors. By the way, Riddles, Wi-Fi warrior.
Riddles got his start on Wi-Fi. Like he would grind Smash Ladder with Mega Man and Smash 4, and he was like probably like top 3 on the site at one point. And then he started coming to local stuff, and everyone's like, "Yo, don't sleep on this kid. Like he's."
No, Meister used to enter ANG tournaments before he used to be a Wi-Fi warrior too.
Dang.
Yo, exactly.
He wasn't even top 30 ranked though, which is the funniest part.
Oh, for real?
yeah. He was like, I think his highest was like rank 41 on the one of the initial rankings.
It just goes to show how bad the Wi-Fi is. It was holding a player like Meister back this whole time.
It's holding a player like Meister with a character like Game & Watch back. That's crazy if you ask me. I mean,
Yo.
people say that he mashes, and it's like you'd think he'd be buffed on Wi-Fi. It's like, nah, not really. Like
No, he's really
he gets
not.
cheesed. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that he got banned from the Domics tournament. My soul, it hurts.
Oh, no.
Wait, I didn't
Pika
even.
got banned. That hot
I
sauce
didn't even
waiting
see
for me.
the. I haven't even checked the announcement yet for it,
Yeah, dude.
and
What was it?
I've been so busy.
Yeah, it's Pikachu
Oh,
in
you're
Game
drinking a
Watch.
bottle of hot sauce, aren't you?
I've been paying.
No.
I can't wait to see the reaction on my parents' face when they see me chugging hot sauce. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, son?"
You know you're not gonna. You know you're barely gonna be able to finish a single bottle, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
No.
What are you
Might be a
chugging?
struggle.
Tabasco? Sriracha?
Ghost.
What's
Oh no, we're doing
What?
fucking Guatemalan
no
ghost
idea. I have
pepper
to see.
fucking
I
hot
have to
sauce.
see.
Oh my
God.
Wait, the whole thing?
Are we trying to murder?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my
I
God.
here I have the Amazon link already saved on my
Oh,
phone. Let me pull it
no.
up.
No.
Wait,
can't
are you
chug
good
a
with
whole bottle
spice?
of that.
You're mad.
What, me?
You're
Yeah,
good with
I've
spice?
eaten a lot of spicy food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
So
let's
it's
go,
like
brother.
a treat. It's
Jam,
like a treat then. All right.
No,
Jam,
not really.
Jam is
There's
a
like a certain
Jam is a
level of
curry
spice.
boy. Jam's a curry boy. So
Oh Lord. Super spicy curry.
Okay.
here you go.
Best items in Smash.
I'm so shocked that Pika got banned. I was so expecting like Zelda and a Snake and Rob to be banned.
I'm shocked Game & Watch got banned because Area's meant
Yeah,
to
why
be,
did
like,
Game & Watch get banned?
people just
Only,
don't
like-
play Meister, I guess. I don't know.
Too bad. I don't see Meister like joining that many tournaments, if ever.
Yeah, that's,
Joins, like,
that's,
one or
that's
two.
a weird ban. Like I did not.
You
see
also
that
Yeah.
got like
at
a
all.
bunch of like Domics fans who probably never played like competitive Smash or
No, but even then,
anything with
like-
players, right? So
Like competitively, like I get banning Pika, but most of Dom's fans are casuals.
yeah.
Do they just not like Pokemon?
Nah, they just don't like
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah, they just watch one Eastern all
Yo,
the time. It's
facts.
just like I don't want to
They're
play
like-
against
They're
that.
like, this man keeps saying it's busted. Must be true. Time to ban him.
Bald man with glasses says something. I must believe.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
sent
so-
the.
Sam's
Oh,
cool,
sorry.
Sam's cool.
I love you, Sam.
I
I'll
sent
do that
the
for
sent the hot sauce for Jam right here.
I feel like that's a hot take, Harris.
You guys can see it in your DMs. The message.
You can't look.
This is what he's
Take what I
having.
say with a grain of salt, because I know nothing about this.
4
Smash.
ounces.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's only 4 ounces. You know, you better know why.
Wait, isn't this
This is
from
a-
the hot ones?
Yeah, this is from
Yes.
the hot ones.
Oh
Yes, it
no!
Dude,
Oh,
You gotta be careful. You guys are gonna kill
I
her.
have
one,
a
dude.
plumber on deck.
Yeah,
And guess what-
that's the
no!
plan.
Arias is trying to kill
Yeah.
me.
And guess how many of those you're chugging? 4.
No,
So guess
no,
how
it's
much
not
I am
just
spending.
for-
I am spending
No.
$40 to ship this to
No,
your
no, no,
house
no,
to
no,
watch
no,
you
no.
suffer in
The
pain
only
for
way.
content.
Hold on. Time out. The only way that I'm doing 4 is I said that I'll add another 3 bottles if we hit 15K before the Domics tournament.
Weird. It's almost like this podcast is recorded on
Mm.
Sunday, but you'll see it in the future. And we just increased the tournament cap, right, boys?
I hope you
Yeah,
like
let's
that
go.
video of Jam like eating the hot sauce like in
So
the podcast.
I just want to point out, didn't we increase the cap by 4,000? About 4,000?
No,
No, it's actually
oh,
2,000.
2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I thought it
it
was 4,000. I was gonna say that's at least 4,000 right there, Jam. That's right. That's literally what we need.
Yeah.
So it was 4096, and we're increasing it by 2 waves of pools of 1,024, making it 6144. Because there was a bunch of people that did say that they couldn't sign up and they wanted to sign up, so we're just trying to increase the cap, get more people in.
That cap filled up in like
Yeah.
about
2
an hour.
hours.
2
Yeah,
hours.
less than 2
Yeah.
hours from the announcement.
Oh, yeah,
In 2 hours, we had what, like, it doubled in 30 minutes,
It was
and then in
insane.
2
Yeah.
hours it capped out.
Yeah, the power of YouTube.
Yeah,
And
Power
Domics.
of Dom.
Power of
Yeah.
Power of
Domics.
Dom.
Speaking of Domics, what has it been like for you guys working with Domics? Obviously, for us, we thought we got raided because we got 2,000 people on our Discord server in an hour.
Less than an hour.
It's
It was
very
crazy.
weird. Well, okay, so like, I mean, I've watched Dom videos and stuff, right? But when we first started working with him, I didn't understand the scale of how big Dom was, right? Like, Dom's just a super chill guy. You kind of forget that he's a big YouTuber and he gets millions of views on his videos. And then there's times I sit back and I'm like, wait, I'm making merch for a guy who has 7 million subscribers. Like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what's going on?
I don't know what I'm doing. You know that he might. You know he's likely to watch this, right?
I mean, he likes to merch, so I think I'm doing something right.
He's just being humble. He's just being humble.
You can buy merch from the Atomics Domics store at smash.gg/Domics on the shop tab. Buy the merch.
Yep.
Fund the goals.
You can go
That's Domics
Go buy,
merch.
go buy.
That's not just Smash merch.
Yeah, it's limited edition.
Yeah,
it's
great.
gone after the event. It's gone.
After the
You'll
event,
never
you
see
will
it
never
again.
get
I bought a hoodie
Yeah.
and a GameCube
Never see
adapter,
it.
dude. That red GameCube adapter.
Oh, real?
Is fire.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Speaking of the GameCube adapter, what the reason that we actually got the initial link to Domics was because me and a friend that works at Domics' cafe. So if you guys didn't know, Domics actually has a gaming board game cafe in Mississauga, Ontario.
Mhm.
And I used to go to school near Mississauga because I went to University of Toronto, Mississauga. And he actually ran a Smash local there where I got to kind of like meet him and then get more well versed into like because it kind of just like molded into like that friend group that gets to talk with Domics on occasion. He's a busy guy, so
Understandably, yeah.
yeah. So either way, like one of the guys that I got to talk to actually ran the tournament for Domics. His name's Edgardo G. Jamp, you actually work really closely with him right now for the Domics project.
Yeah.
He's one of our head tournament organizers for Domics Atomic Arena. He's really well entrenched into the Smash 4 community in Toronto, and by extension the Smash Ultimate community. And it was really through him that we were able to even come up with this opportunity. He's like one of Domics' really close friends. He used to work at his board game cafe, and they went to EVO together. So that's like how we really got that link. And I guess like because like I'm so used to like seeing them, like he's just a normal guy. Like Domics is just a super chill, personable, humble dude. Like it's really shocking. Yeah. Yeah, it's just
I remember
he's just a dude.
I remember when Jam found out it was Domics. Actually, I remember when Dover accidentally said Domics to me, and that was really funny. And he's like, "Okay, that never gets mentioned," and I was like, "Okay." So, and then Jam didn't even know, and then Jam found out. He's like, he did the face roll on the keyboard thing. He's like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I knew like a while, like 2 weeks ago, like when we were first talking about doing this kind of thing. It was accidentally mentioned, like the possibility."
Yeah.
And then it started slowly, as it was coming into fruition and everything. I remember Jam was just like the DM. He was like, I can just imagine the sheer ecstasy. He was like, "What is going on right now?"
Dude,
he didn't think it was real.
Dude, I was so blown away. Like I couldn't even believe it. I was like, "Wait, really?" Because like when because before like you guys told us that it was Domics, Arios was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, they're working with someone really big," and I was like, "Oh, it's probably like Zero." Like obviously working with Zero is still good, like, and awesome because he's also really big, 1 million. So I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be someone from the Smash community, maybe like Nairo or Zero," which is still super cool, right? And like, dude, I've watched Domics videos like for years, so I love his videos. So when I got told that, like, I freaked out. Also, my sister watches them, so when I told her to, she was like, "Well, no way." She's like, "You're lying." And then I was like, "No, this is happening." And she was also like hyped. So
I told like
awesome.
my brother and sister, and they watch Dom videos, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm like, they just freaking out. Everyone's like freaking out. I'm like, "What's going on?" Oh shit. Also, like our boy Matt as well. He's like super. He's new to the project. He's working production with me on the day. But his girlfriend is in animation here in Sheridan College. Sheridan College has a huge animation program. Like it's world renowned. So like a lot of kids who are in this program, they work for Domics. Like they help with the animating. And when I told
that.
yeah, dude, if you search, if you check,
that's actually great.
Yeah, so like these kids get paid quite a lot, and they help Domics with his different sequences and stuff, and it's pretty cool. So my friend Matt's girlfriend is in animation, and loves watching Domics and Jaden animations. And when he told her that, she lost her mind. And Matt is completely oblivious to all this. He's just like, yeah, I'm just being brought on to work on a project. So it was just super cool. It's just like, yeah, my girlfriend was freaking out, and I was like, oh god.
she's like, that's my life goal. What are you doing?
Yeah. She yelled at him. She's like, if you don't take this job, I'm going to leave you. Like,
Whoa.
I also want to mention, like, this entire podcast, I'm gonna pretend I know exactly what you're talking about with all these places and things in a foreign country that I've never been to. So I'm just gonna be shaking my head, which no one can see, and going, "Oh yeah, that."
Just go. The border's not that far.
I actually really want to go to Toronto.
Yeah, just go.
Oh wait, but Arios lives in the southern United States. So that's actually quite a journey for him.
Road trip. Let's go.
I live in the middle of the country. I can go anywhere within.
What states you got? Do you guys live in? Like,
Yo, doctor.
we're in the US.
Jam from Florida.
Oh, okay.
I'm good with telling. I live in Indiana. I don't think our scene's all that strong. I wanted to mention it earlier. I mean, Indianapolis has some like good players, but there's actually been a lot of controversy with our state, like the different sub-regions. It's almost as bad as Smash Twitter sometimes.
Indiana, that's a state with some players, but it's no Ontario. Let me tell you, Ontario's got the best players.
Shout out to
Who's the number one in Indiana?
Yo, we got the culture, bro. We the six. Let's get it.
But yeah,
Jam talks about. James sometimes talks about his own scene, and he's like, "Yeah, it's kind of small. It's not that good." It's like you're MDVA, Jam.
What? No, I said that my local.
You're a top 3 region. You're a top 3 region.
I'm not sure. I think we are. I don't follow our scene that well. Like, I'm always.
Bro, MDVA is definitely up.
MDVA is like maybe second strongest. It's between the second strongest is between SoCal and MDVA.
MDVA even have SoCal's not that good in this game. Not gonna lie, SoCal fell off.
I don't know. Dude, I feel like SoCal is actually like the dark horse.
No, but doesn't
like
SoCal
they're so
have
good,
like
but like they're
Elegant?
not the giant they used to be.
SoCal has Elegant, Nico, Void.
No, that region's really good.
That region's really good.
Compared to Smash
and Spargo, and they have Spargo.
And Spargo, dude. But speaking of Elegant, like I don't know if you guys know, but he like retired. I think.
Really?
I don't know if you've seen,
it's hiatus. It's hiatus.
Okay. So you're telling me Landon's the best Luigi now?
Well, the thing is, he just has,
Landon?
He has personal stuff.
Right.
Is really
Okay.
So it's like it's an unfortunate thing to happen, especially from someone who is so like he kind of blew up from his clutch factor in Smash 4, like before Luigi had like his comeback mechanic on his Z button, but like he actually had like a clutch factor in Smash 4. Obviously Luigi was really, really good, and to see someone who was also getting that same success and had the possibility to still do even better have to retire like that, it's really sad for me to see, because I actually really liked Elegant. Because he wasn't really a cheese. He would do things for the meme sometimes when he could, just to flex. But he wasn't toxic. He was never a toxic player. That's something I really liked. He was very respectful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite sad. My region though is all foxes and nesses, so I don't my region, my scene's actually really strong too. I have Lima. What's his name? I have Austin. I'm forgetting the 2 other people that I know that are like that were PGR.
Is Dakpo back in Dallas right now, or? Because I know he went to Vegas for a while. I don't know if he's still there.
I think he's still moving back and forth.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Dakpo is like
he's kind of going in between.
The best Diddy in the U.S.
Yeah, he's kind of nuts. So. Yeah, but with Smash scenes, it's kind of weird nowadays, because especially with online being such a prominent thing, not Smash Online being such a good thing, but online capability being a very big thing. It kind of regions tend to blend together, especially with how travel is just improving every year. for people
Where
to
do
be
you
able to
guys
go from
see-
place to place.
Where do you guys see the Smash scene going? I know I saw the whole Smash World Tour thing. There's a lot of buzz. But,
Here's the thing. We make fun of Wi-Fi a lot, and without Wi-Fi, we wouldn't have been able to throw together a partnership like this with Domics, because like having an offline tournament this big takes so much more planning, and it's not like the Domics tournament didn't take a lot on its own.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we were able
Because you got to take care of venues and like stuff
you
like
gotta
that.
take care of venues and make sure like you actually have a date like months in advance so people can plan around it, because people actually have to travel physically to this event. You got to get a hotel space set up for people. It's a huge undertaking for offline events, and it was huge for this too, but without Wi-Fi, it really would not have been possible. So
For sure, yeah.
at least for the Wi-Fi scene, the future is bright. And yeah, Smash World Tour, that was heartbreaking. You know that the VG Bootcamp guys put everything into that, and only to have it just like get completely thrown off the rails like frame one because of the pandemic. It is heartbreaking. So hopefully they're able to bounce back.
I think the Smash community is pretty good at coming together to bring like if there's a huge event, so I'm pretty sure everyone will come together, get their bearings together, and you make sure we pull this thing off again.
Oh,
like,
for sure. I think next year.
I was so hyped to watch Smash World Tour. Like this is the first time where you can have like literally everyone is here, and it's time to play some Smash.
So,
and, you know,
in my opinion, as someone who analyzes the birth, the death, and just how pro scenes work in general in esports. This podcast is coming out after Monday, right, Jam?
It's coming out on Monday.
It'll be on Monday.
Okay, well then I'll be able to talk about it still. So, not sure. Tomorrow is where it becomes. It's like a deciding day. But I have the chance in League of Legends to work with FlyQuest.
Ooh.
For their pro team
Yo,
stuff.
Damn, that's
I'm not going to delve into what it is, but I'm good at League of Legends. Let's just say that.
What rank?
I'm Grandmaster right now.
Oh,
no,
okay.
he's legit like good at League of Legends. Like he's a wonder.
Nice.
Like I joked about being good. Who?
Ostrich, Lucian main. Self-proclaimed.
Probably. I probably lane against him a lot because I play AD carry.
Oh, okay, nice.
Statistically speaking, I'm the best Ashe player.
Ah.
However, it doesn't have me ranked as the best Ashe player, and I have no idea how a Diamond player is above me. But anyway, that's getting distracted.
I did not know that. Is it OPGG?
Huh?
Is it on op.gg?
No, that's what I'm saying. It has Diamond players ranked above me, like 10 spots. Like, I'm just like, I don't even know. But anyway, so what the Smash scene needs is it needs two things. And neither of those two things are support from Nintendo. People like to say that, like, oh, Nintendo doesn't support the game, that's why it'll never be great. It doesn't need support from the game to be a great esport.
In spite of Nintendo.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The story of Melee. It has been great in spite of a company that does not care.
So what they need is Panda. There's two things that are already kind of there as like framework for it, but there's two things that need to happen. The first thing is Panda Global and VGBC, which is structured an organization of everything beyond just playing the game itself, where there needs to be a real circuit scene, which is what the Smash World Tour was going to be, which is great, but there needs to be official, and that needs to tie in with the Panda Global ladder for ranking. Otherwise, it doesn't mean all it is just you're playing for money, no rankings, and it's just like it matters, but it doesn't really matter with everything else that's going on until it's official and it's a real organized thing. I don't need to, I'm not saying implement all these rules and regulations and control the scene itself, but in order to make it a real force, make people respect it in esports more, that it's not just it is a casual game, but it's not just a casual game, that these players are good. That's what needs to happen, I think, first and foremost, in order for it to become a true force, regardless of the game, Melee, whatever. There needs to be, and it doesn't even need to be like one organization overheading all of it. There just needs to be an organization that rules over all the organizations that run it, but don't have to be affiliated with it. Basically, like a checks and balance kind of thing to make sure that it's not, nothing's going on, no wrongdoings. Basically, I think that is like the most important thing to make it serious, because right now there's so many different circuits and series that have nothing to do with each other, and the only thing that tie them all together is their ranking on how high level was the competition of this tournament, who won it, and so then how does that factor into rankings from a completely separate organization Panda Global.
Right, and
that's the only thing that like ties it all together, and that's why I think that first and foremost what's most needed is consistency and contingency between the scene for everything.
Right, and that brings up another point. With the Smash World Tour, it was a world tour. That world part in current Smash Ultimate like doesn't really come into things. Like, yes, the Japanese players are all over the PTR, but how often do we really get to see the best in each region play against each other? It doesn't happen all that often, and having a world tour like that ensures that everybody is involved, that you actually have global competition, and you can circle an event on your calendar and you say, okay, the top player in Japan, the top player in Europe, the top player in North America, the top player from South America, they're all going to be there. And you can finally start settling those questions like who really is the best, because the Japanese players and North American players don't get to play together all the time. Same thing with the European players.
Yeah.
It's also like really cool is that like you can have breakout stars. There's players we probably never have ever seen before, and they'd make waves.
Yeah,
like this.
For example, Harris, sorry to cut you off, but like when the PGR 100 dropped, like I'm just like it's so fresh in my memory from like that video I did. But like when it first came out, I had no idea who Zach Wright was, right? And then look at him now; he's like top 10 player in the world. Like he's insane. Anyways, I gotta head out now, guys. It was great chatting with you. I wish you the best luck with the rest of the podcast. I will definitely tune in once it goes live and see. Make sure you guys didn't talk trash about me when I'm gone.
That's funny.
All right, for real though. Catch you later, guys.
Yeah,
Peace out. Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
See ya.
No problem.
So we will
See
continue
you guys.
for just a little longer following Sendo's departure here. I actually wanted to, I mean, if you guys want to keep talking about the Smash thing, that's totally fine by me. There's like 1,000,001 topics we can go on, but I actually wanted to work on a question about Valorant, because I know that's something you guys are pursuing, and actually SNR is trying to pursue as well. So what has trying to form tournaments for a brand new game been like?
Oh man. So I guess I'll take this, Harris.
Yeah.
So at first it was just a whole cluster. So basically, when you do host a tournament for a brand new game, there's just so many things to take into account. Like, for example, just like rule set for one. Like we actually had a tournament that we ran around during the beta where there were a lot of questionable things, especially concerning like cipher cameras, for example. There's just so many ways to kind of abuse it, and there was no way to like make sure that the competitive integrity of each match was there if they had a cipher. There are literally cameras that you could put through walls, cameras that would clip through walls so you could see other things, cameras that you can't shoot. It's just like there's just so many little things and details that you have to take into account when creating a rule set, combined with the fact that like what's going to separate your tournament from the rest of them, right? Because they're for example, like Checkmate Gaming literally ran a tournament every 6 hours using their like automated system, and they also had a prize pool for that. And like how are your tournaments going to compare to that? Like how are you going to market your tournament so that it's even worth playing? For example, like one, you need the like backing in terms of prize pool, you need the outreach to get the right players in, and just in general, like it's just a lot of things to take in, especially for a new game. And just in general, innovation is very hard to do in this space as well, because players are used to a rule set, or players are expecting to like play certain rules, and every single player has like different ideas for what a good rule set would be like. and things like
It's
that.
like a constant fist fight, and especially in the beta, it was extremely oversaturated with all these different tournaments happening, and essentially we sat there like, how are we going to cut out our niche? Like, what are we going to do here? Like, what's our game plan? So that was like the hardest thing to figure out. I think what we found, and like literally yesterday, we had our Valorant 6 tournament. It was a 64 team a brackets tournament, $1,000 prize pool with a lot of other additional pricing. Oh yeah, we do. I think they should be on the Waves Gaming Twitch channel. We partnered up with Waves Gaming. It's a big
I'm gonna
esports
be doing
arena.
research, so
Yeah, no problem, dude. It's, so if you check out the broadcast there, like that was like when it comes to GG, like our production and creative team, especially paired up with marketing, is just top notch, and that's like how we kind of are different from other tournament organizers or event organizers. We put a heavy focus on that, and we want to make sure we do a good job. So if you check out the production for that event, it's top notch, and the stream quality was impeccable. So like shout out to Impulse, Yeti, and Prezi, the
Aerial
the
Media
stream producers. Aerial Media, they call themselves, and those guys are changing the game of Valorant. They've held a bunch of different tournaments. They've done production for ESPN, I believe, and the Risen tournaments as well. So they know what to do. And like that's like kind of the route we took to differentiate ourselves from like Nerd Street Gaming or these other tournaments. We really wanted to put a good show on for the viewers.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the challenges we face being like entirely online. We can't get a team of people into one room to have like a stream setup or have multiple stream setups all together and have like somebody producing and running those for us. So it gets a little more difficult trying to juggle things online.
Yeah, actually, all of these productions are done remotely. So the observers, they're all in their own houses, and it's just using a program called vMix. You can actually search up. It is quite costly. You could do a free trial when you're trying to prep for an event if you like to, but it's a very, very it's a industry level production program. Think of OBS, but on lots of steroids. Like lots of them.
Thank you for enlightening me.
No problem. Yeah, trust me. Like for the longest time, I've been looking for OBS alternatives that have a lot more power and have a lot more features, and I couldn't find any. And then magically, when I met Impulse, who does a lot of these productions with us, he's just like, yeah, you just use vMix. Search it up. I'm like, how did I not know about this? Like, why did it take me so long to find it? But yeah, no, this is what everyone uses. Well, majority of the industry uses to get their production going. It does have a hefty price tag though.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, but I mean
but you pay for the the quality that comes with it. So
sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Harris actually is running our production now. He's learned a lot from the guys at Aero Media, and we're planning to like work on an in-house production team as well. And I'm sure Harris, I'm sure that you gladly welcome Borkham or if anyone at SNR wants to learn a bit more production to our future tech rehearsals.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. When I get it down and Impulse gives me the rundown, I'll pass along the knowledge, and slowly we'll get all of esports on board with vMix and the beauty of it.
It'd be awesome. Again, especially for us, because none of us, none of our streamers, we're all over the U.S. SNR is entirely online. Everything is handled strictly through online conversation, and it's one of our biggest challenges to overcome going forward if we want to get bigger and do bigger and better things. Is how do we overcome the hurdles of not having a venue or not having a place where we can all get together and produce content together.
I think it's been a challenge for us as well. I joined back pretty recently. So, I wasn't there for the big switch. So I came in with just being in this whole online platform and organize these events online. I did co-found the first version of GG, I guess you can call it. I left because Sharon Esports was popping off, and I thought I could really push collegiate esports until I realized, nope, can't do it. And then I was extended an offer to come back, which I gladly took because this team is amazing, and it's been really great. But actually, I wonder if David, you want to like talk about the transition for us, how we went, how you guys went to online, how we coped with it.
Yeah, so for online, like one of the main things that we focused on was just upping that production, like bringing it back to like what you were talking about, right? So in terms of production, we really see that after working with the Aerial Media guys, that online stream production can be so much better than it is right now. It can be just more than just like casters, just like, plugging in their Elgato HE60S and just, putting it out to OBS.
Wow, I'm feeling very attacked right now.
No shade. I don't know how you guys run your streams, but
I've tried to make
there's a lot of room for improvements.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm really disappointed with Streamlabs OBS. I bought access to an application last year for replays, and it was called Rewind, and it just, you hit a button, it saves a replay from the stream buffer, and it plays it back seamlessly. But unfortunately, now I stream on the SNR Twitch account instead of my own personal one, and for whatever reason, that app is no longer in the store, so I can only use it on my old Twitch account, and it really sucks because that app was one of my big production things. Was like I can just with a press of a button, I can save a replay and then queue it up to play it seamlessly. Like I don't even have to open up like a movie player instance and then like broadcast it to the screen. It just has its own overlay. It has a neat little graphic that shows when it's coming up, and it played the replay.
So the thing about vMix is that's there, and also with vMix, depending on what package you get four different cameras. So what it means by the camera is that you can have different observers. And I think for Smash it wouldn't really matter because you're just watching one camera screen. But for like games like Valorant, where you can have multiple spectators flying around, and they can catch different points of action, and you can have it's all built into vMix.
Yeah,
there's also vMix calls, which is really really cool.
Is that kind of like like video chat with your other producers?
Well, video chat with casters, and that the caster webcam gets picked up. It's all like, so you're not having weird delays in between. So instead of doing Discord, which just kind of gets wonky, right? Like, how are you gonna get the caster video on Discord and put it on your stream? Like, you're gonna have to crop, filter.
Yeah,
it's gonna be very weird. It's not good. But with vMix calls, you can manipulate all of that because it's all built in. It's all integrated with vMix. You can just take the vMix source from the camera, from the vMix caller, and then just like edit it however you want it to be, and it's all perfect and it just works.
Do you work for vMix? Because I am sold right now.
I don't, dude. I've been sold. Like, I've been messing around with it for the past few days with Dory, who's actually running the stream for the day because my computer can't handle anything. My internet can't handle it. But it's really really cool what stuff you can do. And David was saying how we can up production for like online streams by tenfold. We're doing actually right now a little sneak peek. I don't want to like leak it, but Robbie's working on a really cool thing we're going to be doing for the stream that I don't think anyone has ever done for Smash. Shout out to Robbie though. Our creative director, super. We should get on one of these podcasts. He will go off on branding and shit. It's great.
Maybe we can get him after the tournament and ask him about how he produced everything and made it so beautiful.
100%. Yeah.
But TLDR, vMix is Discord and OBS is Skype.
There you go.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, definitely got to look into that one. One last thing I want to ask you guys about, because we are running up towards our 1 hour mark here. Where do you see your organization going? Like, what kind of future plans do you have, if you are comfortable sharing those with us, or where do you think GG's going to end up going from here?
That's a question to have.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of where you would like to see GG go, Harris? And I can kind of put out my idea. Because we're really freeform.
Yeah, we're very, very freeform right now. Especially with what we're doing with Domics is really, really cool, and I think we want to see more of that. Essentially, I think where GG is going to go most likely is we're going to be an event and marketing company where we're just going to help creators host events for their communities, produce them, market them for them, and we just we'll do everything for them so they don't have to lift a finger, and then they can have an awesome event for their community. That way we can get more exposure and profit off of it and do whatever we need to do to help support our team our everyone who works under us. But I think that is the route we're sort of envisioning right now. I know initially, and David can touch upon more about that, is like we had the one community esports agency route type thing. I don't think we're gonna let it go, but yeah, it's very freeform. We're still kind of deciding on it. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of cool stuff happening on the back end.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All these kinds of collaborations are always changing all the time.
Yeah. Startups never have an end, a final vision. So yeah,
everyone has like a different idea of where we could possibly go. I think a lot of people do agree with Harris. We love doing what we're doing right now, working with creators, or whether it be like working with different like organizations trying to empower their community through like competitions, gaming events, esports. Personally, I've never really been in it for the money. Like I just really like competition as an outlet, especially esports, because like the difference between esports and, well, personally, I'm a huge esports fan. I just have such a huge passion for esports, and the reason I like it so much is because unlike regular sports where someone might be bottlenecked by like something that's like physical. For example, like you might have to be a certain height to play basketball. You might have to be in a certain shape to like be able to play soccer consistently, or like use it as your competitive outlet. Esports, whether it be like, FPSs, MOBAs, Smash, fighting games, it's anyone can do it. Like anyone can use that as a competitive outlet. It's not ageist. It's not sexist. It's not like, as long as you have access to that platform and you're willing to put in the time, you're able to compete with other people, use it as a competitive outlet, and I just love that, right? And honestly, like as long as GG is doing things to kind of empower that for people to use as an outlet, I'm going to be happy. Yeah.
And as far as accessibility of esports goes, my favorite example will always be Hack's Money. He completely ruined his wrist. Couldn't play Melee, so he built his own freaking custom controller, and now he's back at it again. Like top 8 at Genesis recently, top 4 even, I think.
It's crazy.
This dude said, "No, I will continue to play Smash. This is not a career-ending injury." And it's like those barriers don't exist in esports. You're absolutely right. The accessibility is there. There's it's not a discriminatory thing. And there's not like the physical limitations of what your body can or can't do.
Exactly.
I love esports so much.
There's just so many examples. I'm not sure if you follow Street Fighter, but Brawly Legs, amazing example. Brawly Legs, amazing example. Smash, I believe one of the top Hawaiian players is called Small Left, and he has a physical deformity where he has a very small left hand, but he's still one of like Hawaii's top players. It does not matter. Like you're able to overcome anything.
You also got Misty Stumpy from League, a challenger player. Also went to Scouting Grounds and played amazing on when he was playing on Team Infernal. So I mean, like I think esports is always about pure competition, and anything that supports that, I'm with it. So I want to see more female gamers, bro. That's what I want to see. I think esports is really cool. The fact that you
best player
you don't have to segregate it. Hell yeah.
I personally love playing with girls. It's like, okay, so I'm gay. It's not because I'm like, oh yeah, give me the e-girl. It's not like that. But it is still sexist because I'm an AD carry player, and almost all females happen to play like Nami and like Janna, and they support me, and they're really good at those characters. And they just give me the free win. I'm like, yeah, I'll carry because you just give me all the buffs and healing and everything like that, and we just win. It's free wins.
But where's the female Arios, dude? Where's the carry?
Oh, where?
I think
They don't know about that though, Borg.
That's not what I was getting at. No.
Oh,
This man
Yeah.
fooled one of our old co-owners for a long time.
for 3 months he thought I was an e-girl.
No.
It's kind of
Sounds
crazy.
like a
Anyways,
problem.
Where are the female players, man, that are going to carry you instead?
they do. That's the thing. Is like some of them do carry me. Like I'll run in. I'll do some like this really dumb stuff, and they'll just be like, "Don't worry, I got you. Heal, shield, CC, invulnerability. Here you go. Don't die. Don't die for getting yourself killed." And then I just kill them instead. They do carry. E-girls are slept on 100%.
Shout out to epal.gg.
No.
Cut that out.
I have an e-girl account, by the way, on eagle.gg. You can play
Okay.
Smash games with me for just kidding.
No, cut it out. Cut it out.
This entire section is getting cut.
The entire thing.
No, it's I didn't even link it. It's just a joke.
No,
I didn't even say what it is.
Diversity in esports is awesome too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Esports is inclusive.
I think
it's very inclusive.
it very much is, yeah.
Like literally anybody can get their hands on a mouse and keyboard and play Counter-Strike, or get their hands on a Switch and a GameCube controller and be a pro Smash player. Like the barriers to entry are so much smaller, and
than regular sports and stuff, right? So
exactly, and there's no like restrictions, like the NBA, it's only men or whatever. There's the separate WNBA. So there's no path for like a really good female basketball player to like play with the rest of the pros. Esports doesn't have that. Like, yes, there are like female leagues or whatever, but it's more for the purpose of trying to build up players like from other backgrounds to try and make esports more inclusive. It's not separated. Like there was a female League of Legends pro at one point, so there's not like, oh, only men can be in the LCS or only men can be in the Overwatch League or whatever you have. Anybody
it's just
can play any game.
It's a big culture thing that I think, especially with like this generation, we all know there's a lot of toxicity that breeds from these types of interaction with like female and guy gamers, right? So I think it's really about like this culture that needs to be this change where female gamers like I like to see a lot of them in the LCS, in the Overwatch League, and that's just like purely based on how well they play, right? I really believe we also did this for Sharing Esports, where it's just like if you're good, then you're on the team, right? Like it's pretty simple. Like if you're competitive, if you're good at your role, if you're good at a particular at the game, it doesn't matter who you are, how you look like, what gender you are, what race you are, whatever, right? If you're good, you're on the team. I just want to see more of that. I think segregating in esports just doesn't make any sense. It might, because we just might get more data on, and I said we are getting more data on how our female and guy gamers brains and reaction time are different, and how that can affect competitive play. But esports is extremely young.
Yeah, and there's
we
no
need
reason
more
to separate
data.
people based on that alone, because any group of people, you're going to see variation in traits or reaction time, like you mentioned. No, this has been a great discussion today, guys. Though we do have to wrap it up. We're getting to the end of our time. I want to thank Sendo, who obviously left earlier. Dover, thank you for coming. Harris, you as well.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks to everybody.
Of course, anytime.
It's been an awesome
thank you, guys.
partnership so far. We are looking forward, like so excited to put on this Domics Atomic Arena coming up a week from now. It's going to be sick. Actually, it starts in 5 days at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
Don't say
Coming
that.
up.
Pressured.
No, the pressure's been mounting. Are you kidding me? And I'm gonna be on the stream. Oh, no, but
5 days to seed.
5 days.
Oh God.
Yeah, 5 days
boy.
from now, Domics Atomic Arena, and those of you watching in the future, that participant cap increased. So go check out smash.gg/Domics and sign up if you can, because it's gonna be.
My registration closed Wednesday.
Make sure you go Domics Atomic.
We got a few days to do it.
Yeah, smash.gg/Domics/shop. Buy some stickers and charms, dude. Get it.
Fund the Creator Clash.
There you go.
I put $350 down in the Creator Clash. I need some other people to chip into that so we get it fully funded. Fund the character bands. Donations. There's also donations for Black Lives Matter there. So definitely consider donating your merchandise purchases towards that. But anyways, guys.
Who doesn't want to see Jane and Animations play?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you end it off now.
You're good. But anyways, guys, like I said, we do have to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to episode 6 of the Relaxin podcast. We will be back next Monday. Don't know who our guest is quite yet, but we'll hammer out those details over the course of the week. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.